Welcome to the Equity Team Podcast, where we provide Sedona, Arizona real estate insight to help you thrive during your next real estate transaction.
Welcome back to the Equity Team. Real estate information updates in the Verde Valley area, which includes Sedona, Arizona, and Cottonwood, and a couple other little surrounding areas in the Sedona area. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm just going to jump right in. I'm going to share my screen. And I'm just going to go over just a quick market update with properties in Sedona, in Cottonwood. Not going to go into too much here because it would be too much to talk about. I want this to be a quick podcast recording for everyone. So what I have are 5 properties. This is not a deep dive. This is a quick overview. So 5 properties in Sedona, 2 properties in Cottonwood. So we can just very quickly go through these. Now, in descending price and best opportunities that I'm seeing on market right now, under 2 million in Sedona and Cottonwood, I analyzed everything under $1 million, and there are only 2, and they both happen to be 500,000 or less. But Sedona, here we are starting at about 1.6 million. So these 5 properties right here, these are the ones that I've kind of cherry picked as the best short-term rental opportunities in the area in terms of returns. What I do when I'm analyzing these properties, I'm looking at location, I'm looking at how photogenic and marketable the property is, meaning is it pretty? And does it check a lot of other boxes as well? Boxes that are really important to short-term rental guests that come out and they stay in this area. And then I'm also looking at things like square footage, number of beds and bathrooms. What other interior and exterior features are there? Pool is a really important one. So does it have a pool? They don't need to have a pool in order to be successful, but it makes a big, big difference. Now, this one on Rhapsody, it's a great property. Again, I'm not even going to go into showing photos. It would just simply take too long because there's so many properties that I want to go through. But this one here, the quick overview is it's a 3-bed, 3-bath, over 2,200 square foot home on over a 1/4 acre. It's newer built, 2015, which is fabulous. It has a pool and it's an attractive home. This one on Bristlecone Pines just hit market a little bit ago. This one has a lot of personality, the good kind. There's bad personality too, but this has great personality. And it's in a really beautiful area, really quiet neighborhood. And it's in the West Sedona area, and it's just a gorgeous spot. So this one here is a 3-bed, 2-bath, almost 2,300 square foot home, almost an acre, built in 1991, and just under 1.4 million. And yeah, this one is the kind of thing where people would stay there and your guests would feel that personality. They'd feel really submersed into the Southwest and having that experience. And that's how it'd be marketed. This one here in Julie Lane, it's a 3-bed, 3-bath, 2,300 square foot. You can see it's a tiny lot, 0.07. There's a good reason for that. It's sandwiched up with these other properties out in an area called Oak Creek Canyon, not to be confused with Village of Oak Creek. So Oak Creek Canyon, it's always more expensive than a lot of, not all, but a lot of other parts of Sedona in terms of size of homes, acreage. You don't get much acreage out there typically unless you pay an arm and a leg for it. But this property has views and it's out in a very desirable Oak Creek Canyon area. Now it's cooler out there, which spells good news for the summer. It's right along the creek. That one's an obvious one. That one's a given. So this one doesn't need a pool in order to be successful. I would highly recommend adding a hot tub though. So it's a short walk from the creek. So that is your pool. And that, at least that's how you market it. So you want to get in the mind of marketing these things. This one's been on my list for a long time. It hasn't sold for a long time, and I'd be happy to discuss it if anyone wants to know like why about any of these properties and what's going on. But I'm pretty involved with all these things and pretty informed in what's going on. But this one's awesome, and I have a very economical remodel plan for this property on Saddlehorn. Now it's a 2-bed, 2-bath, almost 2,200 square feet, almost an acre, built in 1986, priced at just under 1.3 million. And this is actually one of my favorites. And there are good reasons for all of these things that I'm saying. So please, reach out, ask about these properties. But there are good reasons why, I have these opinions. They're not just flight of the cuff opinions, but this one on Saddlehorn could be a real high performer. And, the all-in cost, if you want to go to the gusto and really, really push this one up, it's about 150,000 remodel, or you can make a good income and raise some value, but it just wouldn't be pushed quite as far with approximately a $75,000 remodel on this Saddlehorn one. All right, now this one on Arroyo, the last one, this property has been on market for a little while, and it's a fixer-upper. So it's either you could do a fix and flip on this one, or you could have this be a short-term rental, and it would be a good short-term rental, but it needs more work. So this one needs at least 200,000. If you want to really, the dream team remodel push would be more like a $300,000 remodel, but 200,000 would be plenty. If you're, believe it or not, a tight budget on this one is 200,000. It's just, it's been a bit neglected, and that's okay. That just happens sometimes, but it also could use a few improvements as well. And then this one's going to have some good value in it, and it would be worthy of a fix and flip if it was really approached right. Now, real quick, in Cottonwood, just the two properties, the inventory is pretty lean right now in terms of the opportunities, properties that look nice, that are going to have the strong ROI that I'm looking for. So this one on Spanish Row, let me go back here real quick. Okay, this one's a 4-bed, 4-bath, over 2,500 square foot home, a quarter of an acre, built in 95. Okay, and this one does need work, doesn't need, like the one on Arroyo and Sedona, doesn't need that, doesn't need 200,000-300,000, but this one needs some more work. And it's going to be a real attractive, nice property. Now, this is really interesting, and right here in the top, the agent remarks. So they have, let me go right here for just a second. So this property actually has kind of 3 units, at least that's how it's been approached. It's a single family home, but it's been approached as like 3 units. 2 of those units are long-term rented right now. One of them is vacant. So it's interesting because you can kind of break it up that way, or you can just rent it to one party as a short-term rental. But it's interesting that this one's a little bit more versatile that way. Now, this one on Ocotillo, it's the 3-bed, 2-bath, over 1,800 square feet, quarter of an acre, built in 98. And, this one it needs a little bit of work, but not a ton. I would put new flooring in it and stuff like that. And a lot of things, I have a lot of videos where I talk about pools or hot tubs and some other features as well. And by the way, on all of these in Sedona and Cottonwood, bare minimum, you're going to want to, if they don't already have it, you're going to want to add a hot tub, bare minimum, but possibly either a swim spa, depending upon the property, or a pool. And there's some other options as well. Swim spa is the economical pool option. If you really go hardcore economical and really got to cut it down, there's always the above ground pool option. But there are a lot of reasons why I'm hesitant on that. So sometimes it makes sense. But with these properties, I don't know. These properties, probably you'd want to spruce it up a little bit more and either do a bare minimum of a swim spa or do an in-ground pool. And I talk a lot with the top pool providers in the area. So I'm happy to, if you want to reach out, call me. I can give you some numbers as far as what those actual costs are and the specific returns that these properties should yield. So I hope this is helpful. And please just reach out anytime. Let me know how I can help you, and keep your eyes out. I'm going to get some more podcasts up and running. And I hope everyone's doing great. Take care.
Thanks for tuning in to the Equity Team Podcast. To speak with one of our top agents, visit us at owninaz.com. That's owninaz.com, or call us at 928-323-0031.